A lot of people are looking for something. A lot of people are feeling like they are missing something, and that this could be a big part of it. You could have this inside of you and not have been awakened to it yet, because vampires, witches, werewolves, and more. The vampire community. I want to share more of the other part of my world with you, because I haven't really been doing that. And I think a lot of people would love to hear about it because they may identify with a lot of these concepts and philosophies and spiritualities within the vampire community. What I want to first talk about in this first video, that is sort of an introduction to my world. I've spoken about this on other videos, even done videos where I've interviewed people who identify as vampires. But I want to get a little more intimate. So what I want to get into in this first video is, first of all, why even I chose to be a part of the vampire community when I don't identify as a vampire. So I think that is very important to understand, and one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to share this with you, because there's so much more. And the other things I want to get into with that is bloodlines and houses. Welcome, beautiful souls, to my channel. I am Aradia Arcanum, and on this channel, I talk a lot about all things witchy, within the occult and esoteric topics. However, I have not really shared that other part of my world, and I want to begin to do that. If this is your first time here and this sounds like something you are interested in, please do consider subscribing. And to all of you who have been here with me on my journey, thank you for staying here and being here. You are about to get more of who I am. So let's get into it. So first, why did I choose to be a part of the vampire community when I am not a vampire? I will get into another full video about what I do identify as part of sharing with you the other side of my world. But what drew me to the vampire community? It is a world that is alternative to the mundane. It is a world that helps you address those primal urges. It is a world where you are okay with those primal urges because you understand them. You begin to learn and understand them. So when I began to see all of these aspects, I was first introduced to this through a vampire event. So till this day, we still attend this event that introduced us. And when I say us, I mean my husband and myself. We still attend this event that introduced us. This had to be about, this was back in 2015. So it's been almost 10 years. And there was this event the vampires held at the bottom in the basement of this club that we, again, still attend. We attend both the club and the vampire event. Now, I'm calling it an event, but I'll get into more of the correct term for what it is. So, knowing nothing about it, I am shown the woman that hosts this event, and she goes by the name of Madam X. So I walked up to her and I said, "So I hear there's vampires in the basement of this club. I hear you guys hold an event." So she stared at me with her gazing vampiric eyes and handed me a flyer and said, "You are welcome to attend." Right? Very mystical, very secretive, very alluring. So we did, and throughout the course of me sharing parts of my world, I'll go into maybe the finer details of what happened. However, that was the beginning of the journey that took us to the vampire community. So when we found out there's more, this is not an isolated thing. There's vampires all over the world. And we branched out to New York, aka Gotham. And that's when it all began. So there's so much to the story. I'm just going to give you more of the highlights so you can understand. It's kind of an introduction to my world, because I will be sharing a lot more on this channel. So fast forward, after going out to events, after hanging out to a lot of endless nights events hosted by and created by Father Sebastian, we began to build friendships. And fast forward again, my husband and I meet our sires and become sired and into a bloodline and into houses. Now, what bloodlines are and houses are? Bloodlines are, you are whoever your sire is, this becomes your bloodline. I won't get into my husband's, right? So my sire, my house, my bloodline is tribe Lakaios. Now this is more of a tribe and less a house. So, to understand what the tribe is, in a vampire community, you would look at what a house is, right? And this is kind of what a tribe is. But I'll get into that a little more later. Later in down the line. But so it's a tribe of wolves. And I first joined that tribe as the priestess of the tribe. So then I began to develop that relationship, and and the matriarch of the tribe, the Lupa of the tribe, invited me to be sired. So fast forward, years later, I was granted my own bloodline, and that is Dracarys Day. And then fast forward, I was granted my eldership. So within the vampire community, there are many bloodlines and houses and clans and tribes. And what I want to point out during this course, this path of me sharing this world with you, it's very personal to me, which is why I haven't really shared it, is that there's so much more within the vampire community. This is why, one of the reasons why I have chosen to be a part of it, because there's werewolves, there's other kin, there's fae, there's so much more. Dragons, people, Therians, people who identify as very shamanic, right? When you think, that's the best way that I can explain it to you. Unless you want to go deeper and get into in more depth what that means. But overall, think of shamanic practices when one would identify with animals, creatures, beings. So because of that, I think I wanted to highlight that, because there's people that may turn away because they hear this is a vampire community and not understand that that is just an umbrella term, because under it there's all these other kin that are not vampire but identify as something else. So the vampire community as a whole is a place where you can understand your primal self, understand your, maybe your alter ego, understand those urges, and give it a name, and give it an identity. And this has helped me so much, and has helped my husband so much when we came into the knowledge of all of these things, the philosophies, the spirituality of it, the understanding how to feed our urges, because whatever you identify as, there is a way that you feed. There's a way that you feed your primal instincts, and this is one of the biggest parts of learning yourself and coming into balance with yourself, because you are addressing yourself. You are taking care. This is self love, self care to the max, because you are acknowledging what this big part of you. And I think that a lot of people are looking for something. A lot of people are feeling like they are missing something, and that this could be a big part of it. You could have this inside of you and not have been awakened to it yet. We had our awakening when we came into the realization of this world. So we were awakened. Our primal was awakened. And that is what happens when you are drawn to something like this and it calls you. First of all, you won't even know. You're feeling this, and if you don't know this exists, you just know something's calling you, and you're out there searching for something. There's this world out there that many don't know about, and it can answer a lot of their questions. So I'm gonna get into a video where I discuss the origins and the ancient ones, as when you look at the movies, but where the our bloodlines descend from, because we have, like, my sire has a sire, so I have a grandsire. And then we have like our cousins, and it's bloodlines, it's true bloodlines. And there are a lot of different intricate ways that each bloodline and house works, but we have this overall hierarchy, laws and ways that we have like a haven, and a haven would be a place where all of the houses, bloodlines, and tribes can congregate. And this is a place where if it's called a haven, this means you keep your shit at the door and come in peace. And if that is disrupted, there are rules in place where you can, even depending on the severity of what was done, you can be blacklisted. You could be thrown out of the vampire community. And once that happens, this word goes out, spreads throughout the communities, all over the world, that you have done this offense, and this is the reason why you have been kicked out. Now, there's been some that have been granted permission to come back after time, and things like that. But yeah, so there's so much. There's rules, and even ways that we greet one another, right? It's very much like the Freemason. But a lot of this started, again, I'm not going to get into the details of that, but a lot of this started with just the games, the role play games. This is where that started. It started out as games, and then it kind of took off from there. Now, internationally, there are vampires all over the world who are connected with these communities. But it generally started in New York. So, well, at least this vampire community. My bloodline, I currently have bloodline Jakar Stay, as I mentioned. And this name, sometimes things can seem a bit corny. Like I said, it did come from role play. However, it turned into a spirituality and something very serious. It tapped into other elements of what already existed in spirituality throughout many cultures. But I loved Game of Thrones, and dragons, and the magic of the Fae, and so I identify more with the dark Fae and the elemental realm. So elemental beings and those within my bloodline identify as that as well. There's different beings, there's different energies within the Fae realm. And I say dark Fae because we are generally a house that is a bloodline that is more the darker aspects of things. But again, I'll get into that in another video. I'll share more about my bloodline in another video, but I just, as a part of introducing my world, the other part of my world, and which is a big part of who I am. And so it's been difficult not really sharing that. But yeah, so I have young ladies that I sire, and is a part of Jakara's Day. So, right, I got the name from most people who are Game of Thrones fans knows what that means, but it's Jakara's Day, dragon fire, of the gods. A lot of our energies is working with elemental dragons, and tapping into the fire. Again, I'll get into more of that, but we resonate with like the dark Fey realm, the dark Fey energies, and all of that. But, witches, we are witches, so we do call ourselves a coven as well. But that is a little bit about what I identify as, and I'll explain a little more. And if you are interested, maybe even in hearing more, let me know in the comments about Jakara's Day. But it's the Dragonfire of the gods, and I love I love working, not working, but I love being a part of this, and siring such beautiful, magical, powerful women. I don't take that lightly. That's a big responsibility. That's another video because there's so much. I'm not gonna share drama with you. There's drama in every faction of whatever it is that you do, but I will share what a sire, the responsibility of a sire, is and should be in another video when I go over the different titles. But I will be sharing more with you and how I work with vampiric magic. Now, there's a difference in the way that an occultist would work vampire magic that isn't a vampire versus a vampire's magic, a vampire's spirituality, because they have ways that they work their magic. And a lot of, if you want to know more, I could also do a video where I share a lot of the books, but most people do know the books that Father Sebastian has written, Michelle Bellinger has written, and I have met and know both of them. I actually met Michelle Bellinger when we were at a vampire event in New Orleans, and yeah, so there's some matriarchs that were there in the beginning, and Michelle Bellinger is one of them, along with Father Sebastian, who I can't wait to do a video and share with you how that lineage goes. But so there's Father Sebastian and Father Vincent. He may he rest in peace. He passed away last year sometime, but I will share more about them when I do the lineage and hierarchies. But I hope this wasn't too rambly. I wanted to do this as an introduction to share with you more of me. I hope that I didn't bore you, and that this is of interest to you. There will be so much more on this, and the magic that I will be sharing with you will be centered around the way that rituals are done, the way that, the spirituality of this. But again, I don't want to continue to ramble. If you have any questions, let me know. I have a list already ready of videos to begin with. But if there is something specific that you have heard thus far about this journey and would like me to do a video about it, put it in the comments. I'm excited to share this world with you. because it really truly is another world. Like and subscribe, and until the next video, I love you all, and into the shadows.